happened first in Pennsylvania, where Senator Pat Toomey has been absolutely inundated by, among other things, anti-Betsy DeVos constituent messages. Local news stations in Pennsylvania have been running stories about how no constituents can get through to Pat Toomey's Washington office. They can't get through to any one of his constituent offices anywhere in the state of Pennsylvania either. Literally, this local station interviewed constituents who have never been activists before, but who say they want to convey to Senator Toomey, please don't vote for Betsy DeVos, and they have no way to do it. Pittsburgh Post-Gazette reports on a retro turn in efforts by Senator Toomey's constituents to reach him. He won't meet with his constituents in person. That's why these Tuesdays with Toomey protesters have been complaining outside his office every Tuesday for the last few Tuesdays now. Also, every single one of his offices completely jammed in terms of its phone lines. According to the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, that has led people to now turn to faxing Pat Toomey. Did you know you can still fax people? I guess you can. Quote, if the number of messages sent through freefaxes.com is any gauge, Senator Toomey's office is busier than most. According to that one online faxing service, nearly 1,400 faxes were sent to Pat Toomey's office in one 24-hour period between noon Monday and noon Tuesday. On top of all that, check this out. This is what I wanted to show you. This is a GoFundMe page, sort of a real last-ditch effort to try to reach Senator Pat Toomey through the only medium his constituents have not been able to monopolize so far. They're using money. They're literally trying to buy his vote. Quote, Betsy DeVos has donated more than $55,000 to the campaign of U.S. Senator Pat Toomey. Incidentally, despite all evidence to the contrary, Senator Toomey thinks that Betsy DeVos would be a great choice to lead the Department of Education. If Betsy DeVos can buy Senator Toomey's vote, then we should be allowed to do the same. And then in one day, more than 2,000 people offered to donate money to Pat Toomey to try to compete with what Betsy DeVos has donated to him over time. They set their goal for their fundraising as the amount of money that DeVos and her family spent on him so they could try to be heard just as loud. If they reach their goal fast, who knows, maybe they can get a last-minute invite down to Palm Beach this weekend for the Republican Donors Summit. You can imagine the senators being like lined up by their staffers to meet all their $50,000 donors, right? Oh, hello, rich person. Hello, rich person. Hello, lobbyist person. Hello, cabinet secretary nominee. Hello, 2,000 of my own constituents. How did you guys get in here? After that GoFundMe page was posted to buy Pat Toomey's vote, a very similar version of the same idea went up in Arkansas. You can see it here. Buy Senator Tom Cotton's vote. So far, Betsy DeVos and her allies have contributed approximately $8,300 to Tom Cotton. I propose that we try to raise $8,301 to outbid them. People who started that in Arkansas, the Buy Tom Cotton's Vote GoFundMe, they tell us they honestly had no idea it was already happening in Pennsylvania to buy Pat Toomey's vote. They didn't know when they set up theirs, but once they realized they had the same idea and somebody else was already doing this for a different Republican senator, they posted this sort of teasing update saying Pennsylvania folks are pitching in to help buy their senator's vote, but ours is much cheaper. Now, in both of these cases, they say they are not actually trying to bribe their senator. They will donate the money that they raise if they hit their target to worthy charities in their senators' home states, but still, point made. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here because, Republicans prioritize their meeting with major donors tonight and tomorrow in South Florida. They gave up the chance to nail down the Betsy DeVos nomination tomorrow morning. They've got no margin for error. They've got the thinnest possible pathway to the nomination. You'd think they'd want to act fast. They gave that up to go meet with donors. And what they're facing is this incredibly creative, fast-evolving, joyful, mega source of pressure on senators all across the country. And what this pressure is trying to do is just peel off one more vote. Because they are meeting with donors instead of voting, people opposed to Betsy DeVos get 2.5 more days to burn up the phone lines and send pizzas and get their home state senators terrible, terrible press about how afraid those senators are of their own constituents and how much money they took from people they are now turning around and voting for, despite the expressed wishes of their constituents in overwhelming numbers. So this is political science. We're living a political science experiment right now. It's happening right now. It's going to happen all this weekend. In addition to all the Republican senators going to Palm Beach, Florida this weekend to go meet with their donors instead of voting on Betsy DeVos, The president is also going to be in Palm Beach, Florida this weekend. He's taking a weekend off. Whew. It's been a tough 2 weeks. Time for a vacation. It's expected that there will be protesters opposed to the new president and opposed to his cabinet nominees and opposed to his refugee ban and his other executive orders. It's expected.